Hey guys, and welcome to our second installment of Neo-Noir November. This week, after doing Blowout last week, we are traveling all the way to the other side of the world to South Korea with one of the darkest films of the genre, 2010's classic I Saw the Devil. Now, I did a plot summary for Amber on this movie ages ago and had not watched it since. And let me tell you right now, this movie is still very, very powerful. Directed by, and I've written these names down, full transparency, and I'm probably still going to say them incorrectly. It's directed by Ji-Woon Kim, who would go on to do A Tale of Two Sisters, which is another great, great Korean horror film. If you've never seen that movie, I think they did an American adaptation of it, but definitely check out the Korean version. And this movie is about a ruthless serial killer played by Choi Min Sik. The character plays the character of Hong. You'll recognize it if you are into world cinema as Old Boy from Old Boy. And then Lee Byung-hun, who plays the character of Kim, who is our main protagonist. You might recognize him, older kids, for he was Storm Shadow in those two G.I. Joe movies. And then I think he's in Squid Game. So you might recognize him for that. He's kind of a government agent, a la Secret Service for the Korean government. And his fiance is taken and murdered viciously by our character of Hong, who is a sadistic serial killer. And this movie, I tell you right now, this movie is it's relentless and absolutely brutal. Because you go into it, and especially watching the trailers, so this man with a certain set of skills is wronged horribly by this evil, sadistic serial killer, who then our lead protagonist tracks down, puts a tracker on him, and begins to enact his revenge. It's a movie you've seen 100 times. What makes this movie interesting is the game that Kim plays with Hong, where he first finds his location as he's in the middle of doing something utterly disgusting to another person. And he just beats the ever-living crap out of him and breaks his arm. And then leaves him there with a package of money to go get fixed. And so it's this game of him constantly locating Hong, devastating him, and then letting him go. So he can keep the revenge going. There's even a point in the movie where the father, who was the former chief of police of his fiance, who kind of knows what's going on, is like, you've done enough. You need to stop, and he can't, because this is all he is now. And that's really, to me, where the movie elevates this genre. Again, it's the revenge genre. You've seen it many times. It's John Wick. It's the Death Wish movies. It's all this. Only what they do here is really show you that if you go down the road of revenge like this, it's all you have. I mean, that's all Kim has. And by the end of this movie, when he finally is able to enact his final revenge, he begins to weep because there's nothing. His life means nothing now because he's let this consume him. And it's that brutality of it, the honesty of it, that to me really sets this movie apart from kind of its fellow revenge movies. It puts it in like this weird nihilistic category of revenge movies. Movies like Peckinpah Straw Dogs, or even movies like Last House on the Left, where by the end we do see the villain get his comeuppance, but at the cost of the soul of the protagonist. And it's unflinching and raw in its portrayal, whether it's what he does to this man, because don't get me wrong, you never once feel sorrow or sympathy for Hong. They make sure of that, because he does some of the vilest, most disturbing things to young women. However, you also begin to see that something has been triggered in Kim that is pushing him away from that avenging angel that we've so come to immortalize in film. He is just as dark. There's even a moment where there's a weird turn where we find that Hong is killing these people and then giving their bodies to a serial killer friend of his who's into cannibalism. Because that's exactly what this movie needed at that particular point in time. Where they're even like, you found another one, you found one like us. Like he is here for the hunt, and he is here for the carnage, and that's kind of where the movie goes, and it's a rough sit. It's also a long movie. It's almost 2.5 hours long. And I've seen some people say, it kind of gets repetitive with the cat and mouse game, but right when you do have a couple of instances of serious cat and mouse, then it kind of goes up a gear, and then after that goes up a gear, and then it's a race against the clock, and then that doesn't work, and then ultimately ends kind of in a Saw type situation for maximum ruined lives, and it's just such a brutal movie. But also, because this director, he makes this movie beautiful. Much like Oldboy, where it is very brutal but very beautiful. The cinematography of this movie is extraordinary. The choreography between the two men, and their fight scenes when they do fight, is absolutely fantastic. The music, I have to mention the music by a composer named Wog, is absolutely beautiful. And in fact, the movie is so bizarre, it opens with this POV shot of Hong driving. He drives a school transport bus with these light up angel wings on the side of the rearview mirror. And they're lit up, and you're just looking out the windshield with this mirror in frame. And it's snowing, and it's dark, and it's a lonely stretch of road. And the music is playing, and it feels like the opening of a Coen Brothers movie. But then you do get some stings of that, but then also the music when you're on the hunt or the fight scenes, and then the music of truly the music of innocence lost, because not saying that Kim was innocent before then. He was, he obviously has a very particular set of skills that he has used, but to lose one's soul to wrath really is what this movie is about. And to me, that's the interesting part of this movie. It's not so much a revenge movie. It's wrath. It's the ending of Seven. It's a movie that wrath will consume all, and you'll lose yourself to it. It's beautifully shot. Again, it is long, but I'm telling you, you're gonna have to prepare yourself for it, because it's not it's a long movie. It's a brutal film. So you got to be in the right headspace for it. But if you've never seen I Saw the Devil, it is honestly one of my favorite foreign films ever. And definitely my favorite Korean movie. And I know that a lot of people kind of give that award immediately to something either like Oldboy or Ringyu or Ju-on. Those kind of, or Audition is another one. But for my money, I Saw the Devil. It's beautiful, and it's heartbreaking, and it's raw, and it's just, it's an experience, and having it be, 6 or 7 years since last watching it, because it's not one you can. Well, I think it does have more watchability than Oldboy. It still does not have a whole lot of rewatchability. It's not a monthly movie, but it's just as impactful and powerful as it was then. And so I definitely recommend you guys checking out I Saw the Devil. I don't want to give away too many details, because that's what you go into the movie for. You can find it super cheap on Blu-ray. I believe it's streaming. It used to be on Netflix for a long time. I don't know if it still is. If I remember, I will put where it's located in the comments if it is still streaming. But it's absolutely a powerful, dark, heavy movie. And honestly, enjoy foreign films, man. They're great. If it wasn't, sometimes you gotta read during the movie, and it's okay. This movie, you don't even know you're doing it. But I highly recommend checking out I Saw the Devil. Now, next week, we step 1 year further from this into our newest of the movies this month with 2011's Drive. That's right, the Nicholas Winding Refn, Ryan Gosling movie that everybody loves and nobody talks about. So we're going to talk about it next week. So come back for that. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.